Good evening. You've tuned in to the Underworld broadcast. I am your host, Vera. Here we examine what refuses to be explained. I have watched centuries of stories repeat themselves, different names, different eras, but the same silence is left behind. Tonight, we travel to a place where 5 people vanished without a trace, a place locals learned to avoid long before anyone gave it a name. This is the Binnington Triangle. The Binnington Triangle is not an official location on any map. It refers to a stretch of wilderness in southwestern Vermont centered around Glastenbury Mountain and parts of the Green Mountain National Forest. Between 1945 and 1951, 5 people vanished under circumstances so strange that their cases are still discussed today. Different ages, different backgrounds, different situations, yet all connected to the same land. No confirmed cause, no unified explanation, only questions that never learned how to rest. Some places remember more than they reveal. Mitty Rivers was a 74-year-old experienced outdoorsman and a hunting guide. He knew these mountains well. Rivers was guiding a small hunting party through the remote and heavily forested slopes of Glastenbury Mountain. Near the end of their hunt and return to the campsite, Rivers walked slightly ahead of the group. That was the last time anyone saw him. A massive search followed. Searchers found no footprints, no equipment, no remains. Despite his experience, despite knowing these woods like his own backyard, Mitty vanished completely. 1 year later, the Triangle claimed its most well-known case, Paula Jean Weldon. She was an 18-year-old sophomore at Bennington College. On December 1st, 1946, she told friends she was going for a hike along the Long Trail, a popular route that passes near Glastenbury Mountain. Multiple witnesses saw Paula that afternoon. One man followed behind her briefly. Then she was gone. An extensive search found nothing. No clothing, no body, no evidence. Her disappearance shook Vermont so deeply that it directly led to the creation of the Vermont State Police. Paula Jean Weldon was never found. Exactly 3 years later to the day, another disappearance had occurred. James Edward Tedford, a World War II veteran, had been visiting his family in St. Albans, Vermont. On December 1st, 1949, he boarded a bus bound for Bennington. Passengers later confirmed James Tedford was seen on the bus during the journey, but when the bus arrived at its final stop, James Tedford was gone. His belongings remained on the bus. No one saw him exit. Nothing explained his disappearance. He vanished from a moving bus without witnesses, without struggle, without explanation. Less than a year later, the Triangle claimed its youngest victim, Paul Jepson, an 8-year-old who disappeared from his family's farm. On October 12, 1950, Paul's mother left him unattended briefly while she tended to the animals. When she returned, Paul was gone. Search dogs were brought in. They followed Paul's scent to a nearby road, and then it stopped, as if the trail itself refused to continue. Paul Jepson was never found. Only 16 days after Paul Jepson disappeared, Frida Lunger, a 53-year-old woman, vanished while hiking with her cousin near Somerset Reservoir. Frida slipped into a stream. She told her cousin she would return to camp to change clothes. She never came back. More than 400 people searched the area, including planes and helicopters. Nothing was found. Then, 7 months later, in May 1951, Frida Lunger's body was discovered in an open area that had already been searched multiple times. No clear cause of death was determined. She remained the only victim whose body was ever recovered. 5 people, 5 years, same region, different circumstances. There is still no official explanation linking these cases. Skeptics point to harsh terrain, weather, maybe even a coincidence. Others note that Glastenbury Mountain had a reputation for strange occurrences long before these disappearances. Either way, no clear answers exist. Forests do not erase people easily. They remember sound, movement, mistakes. So, when 5 people disappear without evidence, without witnesses, without resolution, I must ask you, do you believe this was a coincidence? Or do you believe some places in this world do not behave in the way humans expect them to? Tell me your theories. What do you think happened? And if this story stayed with you, if it unsettled you, subscribe to the Underworld broadcast for more documented mysteries, dark history, and unanswered questions. And until next time, be careful where you wander. Some places do not like giving people back.